Have you heard the news? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is proposing 3% mortgage rates for first-time homebuyers. What does this mean? How can he do it? Let's have that conversation with Matt, the mortgage guy. Matt, 3% mortgages backed by the government for first-time homebuyers. How could you not like that? What say you?
I guess me and you peel back the onion a little bit and think about, unforeseen consequences that it could have. But I thought that was interesting. I saw this ad that just came across my Facebook feed where it might not be focused in, but it's 3%.
Yeah.
And that's
Want a 3% mortgage. I could read it.
the thing. Yeah. Is I will lower interest rates by creating tax-free 3% government-backed mortgage bonds for first-time home buyers. It makes you start to think. There's a lot of uncertainty around, the economy, the election, what's going to happen. But some of that uncertainty might be a little bit of excitement. Like if you're a buyer, you're having your struggles in real estate, maybe some good things happen over the next year or so. I would warn you, be careful what you wish for, because after I saw this and I said, interesting, was my first response. My second response was, oh shit, what happens when you inject demand into a market with very little inventory? We see how that story plays out. And this would do similar to most other programs where they don't think about the true problem of supply. They inject some demand. They tell people 3% mortgages. Okay, especially if it's first-time home buyers, Mike, because this injects demand and does nothing to supply. This doesn't unlock anybody. If you've got an existing home, you're not unlocked to go move up and provide that to a first-time home buyer. All this is going to do is say, oh, all that first-time home buyer inventory, the stuff that's already short and most competitive as it is, let's add more demand. And I mean, this truly, it's nowhere near like being anything or even passing, but this would be problematic. This would create, a lot of demand around entry-level homes and probably a 10 to 15% price increase rather immediately. That's my thought.
Yeah, it's fun to think about, right? It's if you just focus this on first-time home buyers, which again, according to the ad, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing RFK Jr. I think you're right. It is all demand. And to your point, when you're doing first-time buyers, there is no unlock, right? It's not like you're trading or moving. The broken housing market continues. I do want to kind of, I don't know, postulate, a silver lining here. Maybe, just maybe, home builders see this new market where first-time home buyers are hungry and there's no inventory. And maybe, just maybe, these home builders go, holy cow, let's stop building McMansions and $1 million properties. Let's go build some first. I mean, in theory, you could unlock a decade of building entry-level homes. I mean, that it won't solve the problem tomorrow, but in theory, you could see builders go, wow, there's a whole lot of FHA and VA buyers out there. Let's go build some stuff for them. That could be fun to watch.
Right. Yeah. And for the buyers that would qualify for this or do this, it truly is the difference between I can't buy. It's not possible for me. I just typed in, Mike, just to see. You know the difference on a $500,000 purchase with 5% down between 7% and 3%?
No
you know
idea.
what the monthly payment difference is? $1,155 a month.
Wow. So $1,100. Let's just do easy math. That's what, $13,000 a year on a debt to income ratio. That means you can make, I don't know, what, $40,000 less and qualify for that home, roughly.
Right. Yeah. And for context, if we're talking about, California taxes, decent credit, so your mortgage insurance probably about $100 a month, it's like $3,850 versus $2,700. Like
That's
that is
that's
a
wild. That's
big,
meaningful.
big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I mean, if this was a coordinated effort, right? RFK Jr. and this proposal, 3% mortgage, first time home buyers, and oh, by the way, they also come in with some supply incentives, or frankly, home builders just see this pool of waiting demand and they start building them. It probably takes a year for kind of supply to catch up, but I mean, I've been praying that the average size home falls, that we build more small. This could be a great unlock. I mean, I'm not trying to think about chances of it happening, but I'm just playing with the mental math, and I think net long term it could be a great idea. And maybe this is a program other candidates copy. I mean, who knows? Great ideas can be copied.
Yeah, and I think too that it would be a popular one. And to your point, builders that need to build and don't have the incentive right now to build might see something like this. And if it's like,
Exactly.
this is guaranteed for 2 years, we're going to do this, the builder gets out there and says, I'm going to build a bunch of stuff. I'm going to target first time home buyer demographic.
Exactly.
3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,100 square feet. That's all they need. Build them smaller, but build the
Yeah.
dang thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I could see them going. I could see builders, assuming this got legs. I could see, you know, KB Homes, Holte, and many others, Lennar, go, okay, let's scratch our next 2 years of building. And let's just go build those. And again, they could build more homes. They'll sell faster. You could pre-sell them. I mean, if you really looked at this, yeah, 3% unlocks marginal demand, right? I think it was Ivy Zellman just this morning. I reported she thought 5% unlocked the market. Let me just tell you right here, right now, 3% unlocks demand in a big way.
Yeah. And quite honestly, these first time home buyers were probably the ones that were hurt the most over the last few
Oh,
years
for
of
sure.
rate increase and being
For
kind of
sure.
shut out of the housing market. So we might be onto something here, Mike.
Yeah. Let's just go to the other side of the coin. Let's assume builders don't show up. Then you're absolutely right. Then it's pandemonium. Then it's, stupid price increases. I mean, it's a lot like, what do we have, that California Dream program
Oh
where it
yeah.
had a limited amount of money and everybody was fishing in the same pond and people had escalation clauses and stupid things. I mean, if builders don't generate the supply, you'll get bad behavior, which I certainly don't want. I don't want that to happen to first time home buyers.
Right. Yeah. I agree that, going out there and having a great mortgage product, but paying 70,000 more than list price, that doesn't help you long term.
No, that doesn't help long term. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But yeah, hey, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., an interesting idea. Wanting to make housing affordable, no doubt. 3% mortgages does a lot to do that. Government backed is helpful. Yeah, I mean, I had not heard about this. So I'm glad you brought this up. If somebody wanted to reach out to you and see what's actually available today, because this program is not yet approved, how could they do that?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. We're in 48 states. We're happy to help. I'm having conversations every day. Mortgage applications are down, but that's opportunity for those that are active in the market. It's not as competitive. I know you've said it, Mike, that, we've turned a page and we're entering into more of a buyer's market as there's uncertainty and people press and pause and less buyer demand. That's what kind of environment you want as a buyer. You don't want to be in an environment where everybody's trying to buy and you're competing against multiple offers. So I'm seeing a lot of buyers have success. I'm seeing those buyers who were shut out and were frustrated come back and say, you know what, I'm gonna give this another go. And this go around, it's just quite frankly easier, right? There's
Yeah.
not as much competition. And so as a buyer, the first step is to find out what you qualify for, get
Mm-hmm.
some concrete numbers based on your scenario. What does it look like? The conversation I continue to have with people is like, don't ask me what you qualify for. Tell me what fits into your budget. And if
Yeah.
you qualify for that, that's what you should target. So greatmortgagebroker.com, quick form. You connect with me and the team, and we're happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.